2, 3.
Hello everybody, my name is Will Fackler. Hope y'all are doing all right. Pretty much my sole purpose today is to come and try and better y'all's safety as y'all becoming adults in the future. Y'all be visiting banks to make deposits and withdrawals. And banks can actually be a pretty dangerous place. So many reputable sources and qualified officials agree that banks should require dress code. Before I get into this, about why it must be a set protocol, put yourself in the shoes of a bank teller or innocent civilian. You're conversing with a teller or a customer, and a hooded man wearing something like this walks into the bank. The tellers, the people in the bank, the security systems, nothing can identify the person behind the facial coverings. This raises a significant security concern because if a robbery is to take place and the perpetrator is wearing this type of facial covering, law enforcement will not be able to identify who he is. Overall, the implementation of a dress code that would exclude suspicious individuals from banks will ensure a higher level of safety for everybody in the bank, lower the amount of burglaries, and assist law enforcement in catching criminals. I'd like y'all to imagine a family member or a loved one being involved in a highly traumatic experience, such as being caught in the middle of a bank robbery. Events like this can cause long-term emotional distress and permanently alter one's emotional well-being. According to the National Library of Medicine, victimized subjects displayed more signs of psychological distress than the control subjects. This piece of evidence supports the notion that people exposed to highly traumatic events usually end up with PTSD or trauma-induced anxiety. This is just the tip of the iceberg, however, as leaving a bank robbery not physically injured or alive is already not a given. Prevention of bank robberies is essential, but it starts with a dress code. With advancements in security systems and facial recognition, it would be near impossible to get away with a bank robbery without wearing any type of facial covering. Before I move on to the more logistical side of my argument, I'd like to ask my audience one question. If implementing a dress code could potentially eliminate the possibility of bank robberies, why would any of you be opposed to it? Moving on, who here believes that there were over 3,000 bank robberies in 2018? This statistic is in fact true, but most people disregard it as you don't see it on the news, and it's obviously more rare than a typical burglary. Unfortunately, a lot of these end up with injuries or fatalities because people entering the bank usually wield weapons as a form of intimidation, and it always ends up in a bad situation. If this number of 3,033 bank robberies does not blow you out of your seat, then a bank robber with a weapon probably won't either. A very important correlation to the statistic relates to what the robber was wearing during the robbery. In almost every single one of these instances of the robbery, a facial covering, either a mask, sunglasses, or a flat bill hat, were used. The scary part of this is that it actually works. The FBI has stated themselves that a flat bill cap looking up at a security camera actually blocks them from seeing your eyes, which is a form of recognizing you, and other facial features. A simple theme that holds true no matter what the situation is that when something is working, do not change it, and when it's not, you need to change it. Clearly, a dress code in banks is necessary to ensure the safety of other people, so we need to start respecting that. If you do not support the change, you are willingly putting yourself at risk, your loved ones at risk, bank employees, law enforcement, and innocent civilians in the middle of harm's way. Bank robberies have become such an issue that the FBI has initiated a bank crime fighting unit dedicated solely to the prevention of attacks and their response during one. The task force job is to study previous attacks and try and coordinate and implement new strategies to prevent future ones. Special Agent Larry Carr, who leads the bank robbery division in Seattle, said that most bank robbers do wear facial coverings to hide their face and avoid being identified by surveillance photos. The evidence supports the necessity of a dress code because even the FBI, the most well-funded and respected organization, agrees that dress codes are a necessity throughout every bank. A polar opposite viewpoint comes from Jeremy Stewart, or the Nomad Bandit, who went on a bank robbing spree in 2018, and the way that he was able to evade the police was by wearing a flat bill Yankees hat. He said that cameras would never be able to show his face when he wore a baseball hat, and the infamous bank robbers overall statistically show plenty of evidence that this is their only way of getting away. Before I leave you guys today, I would like to leave you with a few questions. What is more important to you all? Freedom to wear what one pleases, or a dress code that creates a safe environment for bank workers and civilians? A proper dress code will prevent traumatic events that could potentially spark permanent mental health issues, ensure proper recognition of the perpetrator robbing the bank, and decrease the overall number of attempts together. Thankfully, with this argument, there's only one clear option of what is wrong and what is right. The numbers are staggering, people are dying, and money is being stolen. Do the right thing here and fight for what will keep your loved ones and innocent people safe. Thank y'all.